Hello, everyone. So I am coming on to address the issue around Valentine's Day for the single people out there who are watching me. I know a lot of people who are struggling, finding it difficult to feel good during this day that we call Valentine's Day. Now, unfortunately, Valentine's Day is kind of like Christmas. Any type of holiday where you're highlighting the fact that you are not following the old paradigm. So the old belief systems, the old way of doing and going about relationships can really be triggering for people on those days, because obviously the majority of people within our inner circles, especially with family, if you're getting together with family constantly during these times, during these holidays, well, it can be triggering. It brings up a lot of self-deprecating thoughts, like, I'm at a time in my life where I should be in a relationship. I'm at a time in my life, I'm at an age where I should be having children, where I should be owning a home, where I should be. You see the should be's that we place on ourselves? That's coming from a very limiting perspective. But we were conditioned, right, to think those things and think in that way. So if you haven't done the work to recognize that those thoughts are not coming from a place of love. We're talking about love, Valentine's Day. Okay, love comes from a place of acceptance. So if you're hanging around people and you're talking to people that keep putting you down and keep probably reminding you of how you're not in that space of being in a relationship or being in some sort of at some sort of level of comfort, okay? That's where the shadow work comes in for you, because you're operating on an older paradigm programming. Am I saying the words properly? It's Mercury in retrograde, and it does affect my speech, I have to say. So if you're having a hard time communicating these days, you can blame Mercury in retrograde. And I've been doing videos all week, so I am like, yeah, I'm tired of just, I guess, trying to articulate is something that's coming as a challenge for me. So I'm hoping I'm making sense. So you need to be attentive to your thoughts today. So especially the ones who are depressed and are anxious and who feel like they don't belong and they're like just not following the trends and the status quo. I want you to stop that bullshit right now. So this is a reminder for those people. For the other people who are, just fine in their, security blankets and are in relationships, this message is not for you. I'm talking to the people who are not feeling so great about themselves right now. And it's okay to acknowledge that. It's okay to accept that. Okay, it starts with accepting that you are not feeling so good because you are still working on an old programming. You ask yourself if you're going to find love. You ask yourself if you're going to meet someone. You ask yourself, how many years is it going to take? I'm getting old. We need to stop attaching our emotions to these self-deprecating thoughts, because they're not yours. It's like a system that was built within you when you were a child, when you grew up, when you were raised within this paradigm, within this belief system that made you believe, basically until now, that you are not worthy until you have X, Y, and Z. That needs to stop. So basically you're giving away your power to an old grid, to an old programming. But you need to believe in a higher understanding, higher consciousness, where the universe never makes mistakes. God, a higher source, whatever you believe in. Because by accepting that you are living in the wrong life, like this is wrong, like I shouldn't be here, I shouldn't be single, I shouldn't be alone in this way, I shouldn't be, whatever it is that you keep telling yourself, the shoulds and the woulds, right? You're not trusting that where you are now is not a mistake. You are not a mistake. So there's things behind the scenes that need to play out. And sometimes the universe says, you need to be single right now so that you can become more self-aware, so that you can develop your psychic ability, your awareness to things that need to be tended to, so that in the next relationship, in the next partnership that you manifest, things will be more clear as to what you need and want and accept and tolerate. Some of you are accepting and tolerating things that are not gonna help you evolve. Some of you live in denial. So by accepting the status quo, that's just denying who you are. It's denying your evolutionary purpose here. So by worrying and constantly worrying about the fact that you're not in the right place, you're not at the, in a space in your life where you are like everyone else, where you're following everyone else's trends and everyone else's ways of being, it really denies who you are. And we don't want that. So I did pull out some cards for my peeps here. And look, I said, what messages do we need to deliver to my collective who are single and who are not feeling so great about themselves today? Thoughts, your limiting thoughts. The more you create that place of, this is not where I'm supposed to be, this is not where I should be, the more you create that experience within you. So no need to worry. The more you worry, the more you create that energy, the more you manifest that energy into your life. Like attracts like. So if you're worried about being single, so then you're going to attract and accept any crumb that comes to you. And I don't think that's what you want. And look, we have helpful people. So there are people within your circle finding your soul tribe. I heard with that card. It might not be within family or within the typical circles that you've created for yourself. It's stepping out of that typical, how do we call it? Some of us tend to connect with people from a place of comfort and security. So maybe you've known friends from high school, from elementary school, or from whenever, but however, their frequency is different from yours right now. Their vibration is different from yours. They're focusing on other things, okay? And it's okay to be at different frequencies. We need to acknowledge that. We need to accept that. But as sovereign beings, we need to set the boundary and say, I deserve a soul tribe. I deserve a support system that helps me get out of my worries, that helps me support my belief system. Remain positive. So I'm really happy these cards came out, because I was feeling them before they even came out. I said, you know what, there needs to be a message here for my collective that has to do with the way they are thinking, the way they are believing in themselves and their situations. The old paradigm. Some of you are still co-signing to these old thoughts, these limiting thoughts. We need to work on that. And that's when a shift will happen within the next few months. If you work on shifting your perspective, getting out of that limiting belief system where you need to settle for that person, you need to settle in that relationship because you don't want to be alone. Well, that's saying a lot about the work that needs to be done, because you are trying to find love within another, but the love is here. The love is here. The love is within you. If you can't see that, then that's where you continuously attract what we call unrequited love. And we did get this card in my daily reading, so check that out as well. If you're watching this on Instagram and Facebook, on YouTube, I posted my daily reading, so check that out if you want to get more in-depth messages. But yeah, I'm hoping that you guys are open to receiving different messages. Reading cards is not about, getting messages that you are going to be comfortable with. This is about getting out of our comfort zone. This is about shining a light on what is preventing you from getting to this place of fulfillment. I could come here and say, yeah, love is coming. And you just sit back and relax throughout this whole time is not doing a service. It's actually doing a disservice to you and to your evolution. You're here to do the work in this lifetime. We're here to learn the lessons, and that takes learning hard lessons sometimes. It takes meeting people who are toxic, people who are unhealthy, people that don't want to look at themselves in the mirror, people that don't want to meet you halfway because they think their way is the best way. It takes you to go through those situations, those energies, so that you realize what it is that you are not doing for yourself. So it's like a mirror. Everybody's a mirror in our life. It's like holding up a mirror and saying, this is what's lacking. This is what you're not paying attention to. This is what needs work. Okay, so if you walk around thinking that you're perfect and that you have nothing to work on within yourself and your relationship, well, then that's where your block is. All right, guys, so please let me know if these comments resonated, or let me know if you need a personal reading. It would be my pleasure. There's a sale going on right now for my 30-minute recording, so please check that out on YouTube and my website. So I am wishing you guys all a beautiful self-love day, mostly for my people who are single and owning it. All right, take care, guys.